How you doing? I'm Kevin O'Hara for alcoholmastery.com. Today's topic is to stop blaming your environment, take 100% responsibility for what you're doing, and take charge, right? You know, there's plenty of things in your environment that you cannot control, right? You're never going to be able to control that the alcohol industry is pumping out millions of bottles of alcohol every single week, right? You can't control that. You can't control the fact that there's alcohol advertising everywhere you go, right? You can't control the fact that there's going to be pubs down in your high street, right? You can't control the fact that there's going to be liquor stores selling this stuff, and that is all legal, right? You can't control the fact that your friends, right, and your family drink alcohol, right? You can't control the fact that your spouse might drink alcohol, right? You cannot even control the fact that when your children grow up, they too might drink alcohol, right? These are all things that are outside of your control. Now, you can influence a lot of these things, right? You can influence the fact that, you know, you can not prevent your children from starting to drink, but you can be the person that they look up to and go, well, you know, he doesn't drink, he does drink. Look at how his life is compared to his life, right? And that takes a lot of work, right? Not only have you not to drink, but you've got to make your life into a better thing. You've got to be a better example than the guy that drinks, right? So it takes a lot of responsibility from that perspective. But there are certain things in your environment, many things in your environment that you can control, either by controlling them directly, like in your home, your car, your office, wherever you are, your personal environment. You know, say for instance, you can get rid of all the alcohol from your home if your partner doesn't drink, right? You can ask them to keep the alcohol to a certain room, right? Or you can, you know, there's a lot of things that you can do within your own environment. Most of the control for your own environment is going to come directly from your own brain, right? So, you know, there's so much of your environment that you can control by just avoiding it. You know, don't go to the pub. You know, don't go to the liquor store, right? You don't have to go to these places. When you go to the supermarket, you can avoid the liquor store. But as I said, again, it all comes down to your head. If you let these things bother you, then, you know, obviously your environment is going to be a bit more of a challenge than it would be if you didn't let these things bother you, you know. I mean, for instance, you know, once you get into this, right, you know, these things are going to bother you less and less and less and less, right? I mean, I can go into the supermarket now, no problem, right? Walk down the any aisle of, I can walk into a liquor store and buy a couple of cans of non-alcoholic beer, and it doesn't bother me that I'm surrounded by alcohol because I know I don't drink that stuff anymore. You know, I'm not putting that stuff into my body anymore. That's it, period, full stop. But, you know, in the beginning it can be difficult because that's what you're used to doing. So it's a question of breaking down the rituals, you know, the ritual of walking into a supermarket or a liquor store or a bar, and this is what you do as a ritual, right? You order a certain drink every single time you go in there. So it's breaking those rituals first, right? It's breaking the thinking first, then the rituals, then the behaviors, and then eventually you break the habit, right? And the habit's gone. You don't do these things anymore. Another part of this is boredom, you know? I mean, you know, your boredom is completely under your control. I mean, if you're bored in certain circumstances, change the circumstances. If you're bored with a certain thinking, change the thinking. If you're bored with certain people, change the people, right? That's all it takes. That's what it does take, you know. You're in control. You know, it's the same thing, you know, a lot of boredom is environmental, right? Whether it's the environment that you're in, the people that you're with, or the environment within your head, the way that you're sort of focusing your attention on the boredom, you know, and how bored you are and how you wish you weren't bored. You know, you're not a child anymore, you know. This is up to you to get up off your arse and do something differently, you know. Just nobody else is going to do it for you. You know, boredom comes from the inside, right? You know, it's a state of mind. Either you allow it or you don't allow it. It's your choice. It's your decision, right? It's 100% your responsibility. You know, you can't say, well, I'm bored without drinking alcohol. You know, what kind of life is that? You know, if it relies on you taking a toxic substance into your body just because you feel bored, right? What kind of a life is that for you to have? You know, it's not any type of a life, is it really? You know, when you think about it. You know, when I was drinking, you know, most of the time when I was drinking, it was to try and fill the void, right? To try and fill that gap, the boredom of not knowing what else to do. I just got such into a routine of doing this thing. I was trying to fill the dullness of my my off-work existence, right? You know, when I was working, I worked hard and I knew what I was doing, and it was one thing after another, blah, 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 right? That was what I did. But then when I wasn't working, it was like, this is what I used to do. I used to drink to take away the dullness. So you're dulling the dullness by, you know, drinking, you know, to get dull. You know, it's just madness, isn't it, you know? You know, it's no wonder your life goes around in a circle and just ends up being just drifting downwards and downwards and downwards into this dull, boring version of somebody who you thought was exciting. You know, we all start drinking to think, well, yeah, people look excited when they're drinking. You know, it looks exciting to be drunk and to be falling over the place. That soon loses its fucking its shine, doesn't it? You know, after a while, you know, and then you drink for other reasons, and you know, just goes downhill from there. God, I can't believe that I did 35 years drinking alcohol and doing that to myself, you know, when the last 4.5 years have been just so completely different, you know, far from boring. I still get bored, you know, but you have a choice whether you want to be bored or not. You know, you can get up and move yourself, you know. And as I say, you know, boredom is a product of your environment. It's a product of your thinking, right? And it's up to you to do something about it. So look, I'm going to leave it there, because I'm going to just ramble on about this all day long. It'd be too much of a long video if I carry on down this way. So if you have any questions, I'll leave them down below. Any topics that you'd like to see discussed, then please leave those as well. And come on over to the website. You'll get the Alcohol Mastery Quitting Alcohol Starting Pack. Just leave your name and email address, and we'll send it out to you. There's a load of videos, a couple of different video courses, a couple of books, just some other bits and pieces in there. And until next time, my name's Kevin O'Hara for alcoholmastery.com. Take good care of yourself. Keep the alcohol out of your mouth, and get up off your ass. You know, if you're feeling bored, and do something. You know, soon you won't feel bored. You know. Take care of yourself. Onwards and upwards. Good luck to you. Bye now.